Welcome to the beargrease render.
I knew I was here for some reason.
Yeah, man. Well, it's been a while since we've had Joe Wilson on the show.
The illustrious Joe Wilson.
I wish I knew what that meant, brother, but
Same.
does that mean heavy?
Just look in the mirror, brother,
Does that mean thick?
and start calling stuff that you think looks like that illustrious. See how it goes.
I got it. I've seen
Nah,
it.
man, it's good to have you, Joe.
Man, I appreciate y'all having me back and always have a good time. Learn a little
man.
something.
Yeah, man. We got Bear Newcomb here. Josh is here. I feel like looking at the screen of what's on the screen, I feel like I need to explain something real quick. This is a painting of Tecumseh. This is a famous painting of Daniel Boone. And this is an AI image of my mother, Judy Newcomb. So she retired. My daughter made retirement party decorations of Juju. This is who we call Juju.
Yeah.
And my daughter made that. And like made them on a hanging banner, so there was just like Jujus everywhere, and it was so. My mother's so
How close
such
is
a great
it, Clay?
woman.
It's pretty.
I mean, if there were 7 ladies in this room, you'd be able to pick her out.
I got you.
But I thought it was appropriate to be up here by Tecumseh and Boone,
All legends.
all legends in their own right.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But no, Joe, I've been hearing a lot about your trip to Alaska. When were y'all up there, and what did y'all do?
Oh, man, this year we were there in May, and I think it's the first time, Clay, anybody's ever cooked a whole moose, like spit roasted a whole moose.
You spit roasted a whole moose.
I spit roasted a whole moose. And, I try to plan out stuff a little bit. Actually, that's not right. I'm more of a scrambler,
Okay.
And I think I work best in scramble mode. But, as you're driving down to get to Cook Inlet, there's road signs, and those road signs will have a picture of a moose, and they'll say how many moose versus vehicle accidents have taken place that year. And I guess as we were coming into town, the sign said 163.
Dang.
Now,
Holy crap.
yeah, so the moose that we cooked was harvested via a Ford Raptor. Okay? Just at the knees.
Ooh.
And so whenever the truck hit it at the knees, that moose had severe whiplash and didn't make it.
Wow.
So there's a list in Alaska to where roadkill, bears, moose, whatever it is, they'll give you a call. So my friends are on the list, and about midnight, Arkansas time, I get the call, which, I'm asleep. I get the call, hey, you want this moose? And
Joe Wilson doesn't say no to a whole
So
moose.
now, is the timing of it coming up, or do they have a way that they can freeze it?
we're about a month and a half out.
Okay, so they would have to process it and then
Yeah.
freeze it.
Yeah, so the moose is about 30 miles from their house. They get the call, just so happens, like in most of Alaska, they got stuff. So they had a miniature excavator, flatbed trailer, and they went.
Wow.
And they picked this thing up off the road with a little mini X, put it on the trailer, took it back, skinned it, processed it for a whole roast, and called me in the morning. And they said, do you remember what we talked about last night? And I said, I'm cooking a moose. And they said, yeah. So, it's a story, Clay. So,
Hold on just a second. Joe, slide forward for me. Yep. And Bear and Clay, you guys need to get a little bit closer. It looks
Who needs to move?
Probably Bear. Bear, just slide that way a little bit. That's better. All right.
So it's a story, Clay.
So Joe lives in Arkansas. Just to establish that, you live here in Arkansas. You got buddies in Alaska.
Yeah.
You go up there every year,
Been going 18 years.
and so now you got a moose.
So now we got a moose. I know how to season meat. I know that I'm going to need fire. But I know how hard it is to get things to rural Alaska. And so I worked out a deal with a charcoal company, and they flew me a pallet of charcoal. And I worked out a deal to where I got a pallet of pecan wood.
Oh, nice. Which is probably not native to Alaska.
Not a lot of pecans in Alaska. They probably call them pecans.
Pecans.
First time I went to Alaska, I was on a little old trail out by Denali. And as far as you could see, everything was about 3.5 foot tall, the shrubs. And I was walking on this trail, and I thought, someone keeps dropping their pecans all over this trail. And there would be a pile, like a coffee can worth of pecans. And after about half a mile of walking, I reached down there and grabbed me one of them pecans. I gave it a squish.
Smelled a little funny.
No, it didn't, man. It was just because they're eating. It was a moose turd. So they're eating all this bark and all of this dry stuff. And bear would do the same thing. I just squeeze this old pecan and it turns into dust. Well, back to where we were at.
Back to the roadkill moose.
So I get the wood. I get the charcoal. I know all about seasoning. I get the seasoning shipped up there. And I'm thinking, how am I going to cook this moose? Because I'm going to need something. Best I could do was I went on Amazon and I ordered a bed frame that said it was all steel and it would ship via Prime. And I'm thinking I'm going to sprawl this moose out corner to corner, build me a fire around it.
Okay.
And I'm going to cook a moose on a bed. How's that sound?
Sounds risky.
So this is the plan. We make a little flyer. We invite the whole village. Everything's riding on this bed frame. Well, we go to Whittier. We bear hunt for 3 days and fish and shrimp. And it's not relaxing because I got this big mission ahead of me. I got to perform. And we show up in Ninilchik, Alaska. And the first thing I want to do is see my cooker. And it's in a little old 6-inch box, about 4 foot tall. And I open it up. And 3/4 of the pieces are plastic.
But it's supposed to be steel.
It said all steel, man. And I got it for a steel. And Prime shipped it for free. So everybody's bought something on Amazon that you don't get what you think you're going to get. This happened to me in the middle of Alaska. So that day, there was 3 gentlemen I'd never met in my life. A mountain lion hunter from South Arizona. Great story about that guy. A chiropractor and a cowboy are at the same
Sounds
little...
like a setup for a joke.
It sounds like a joke. It's not. They come up and they said, we hear you're cooking a moose. I said, yeah, but I ain't got nothing to cook it on. They said, we're master fabricators. We can build anything. So in Alaska, in your yards, it's like Oklahoma times 10.
They don't get rid of anything, do they?
They don't get rid of nothing.
No.
So we go on a little field trip, scavenger hunt. We get about 10 miles off the highway, and there's a Scooby-Doo version of an RV park. Kind of like, how it's kind of spooky. And sitting off in the corner is a spit roasting barbecue pit all by itself.
Already built.
Already built. So we ease down this road, get over there. It's got 2 flat tires. It's rusted out. It's got an electric motor. And they said, would that work? I said, yeah. Then let's use it, they said. I said, who we asking? Don't worry about it. So, come to find out, a can of Fix-A-Flat in that part of Alaska is $28, And we buy a couple cans of Fix-A-Flat, put it in there. We go drive a little bit, maybe 50 yards. We got 2 more, 2 flat tires again.
Yeah.
Go to town, get an air compressor at one of these guys' place, and got a cowboy sitting in the barbecue pit. And as we're driving down the road, he's hopping out about every 300 yards, filling up the tires. We get it back. First thing I want to do is plug this booger in,
Right.
I plug it in, and it's got a pulse. You hear a little That's a good sign. We find out that this barbecue pit had sat over there about 20 years, an electric motor in Alaska, uncovered. You can imagine what that's like.
Sure.
And it had a pulse. We spent about 14 hours working on this deal.
Now, when do we have to feed the people?
The next day.
The next day. So this is the day before.
Still haven't seen the moose.
Okay.
I mean, there's no point in seeing the moose if I don't have something to cook it on. And
is the moose frozen, or is it
at this time? I don't know. I know there's a moose,
gosh.
And I'd heard this moose was about 600 pounds. And as locals start showing up, helping us, everybody wants to help. This is a big party of the year, you know. This moose keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter. And I'm not discouraged by this. That means I could sleep, right? And so we get the barbecue pit, we get a new chain, get it all greased up. It's running, jump in the truck. We go to where the moose is in one of these homemade walk-in coolers, you know. And I pull up with the trailer, and the guy says, "Oh, you won't need that trailer." I'm thinking, I'm here to pick up a rabbit or something, you know. He said, "That moose, heck, it don't weigh 250 pounds. And we open up the door, and it was about 250 pounds. So it was a yearling.
A calf.
Yeah. Which is still a big piece of meat.
Yes.
right?
I mean, you're not going to cook a hog 250 pounds and be successful. You want a hog 110, 120 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So we pick up the moose, bring it back, and I rub this whole moose down with vinegar, clean it all up with vinegar, and then season it, tarp it, go in, get some sleep, and the whole night while I'm trying to sleep, I'm thinking bears are going to come eat my moose, or all them eagles you see is going to peck this moose apart. Nothing happened. 4 o'clock in the morning, we put it on. We cooked this moose for 16 hours. And that barbecue pit never missed a lick.
Really?
Spit roasting this thing.
Dang.
Now, so what's your strategy for those 16 hours? Are you basting it?
Yeah.
Or are you?
So, believe it or not, there's not a lot inside this house that I'm into. So there was a 2.5 gallon bucket of peanut oil sitting over there. And I took peanut oil, I took some mustard that was in the fridge, and some Greek seasoning. And I mixed it all up, pretty much made an Italian dressing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I paid about $50 for a mop because it's Alaska. And we mopped this thing, basted it the whole time. But Clay, I had no idea what I was even shooting for.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you talk to Alaskans, moose isn't high on the, I mean, it's grind. They want to grind it down.
Yeah.
It's not like their favorite thing to eat.
Right.
They all have moose. Someone's giving them moose. But it's not their favorite. And here I am, redneck from Arkansas, cooking a moose, having the time of my life. And it got to the point, 14 hours into this deal, to where I could poke my finger through the ham of this moose.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty amazing. And anytime you're roasting a whole animal, it's the most inefficient way to cook.
Yeah.
Heat's escaping.
Yeah, the ribs are going to be overcooked. The hams are going to be undercooked.
Yeah.
It's just, and there's an art form to getting real close, but you can't cook a whole animal perfect. So what do? Anytime something's not going to be perfect, you call it tacos, right?
So you start just like shaving it off.
We deboned this thing. We got it all deboned. I went chopping. I had 3 guys working over some oil over there. We made fry bread.
Oh,
nice.
And we made Indian tacos. And we fed about 250 people. Now, if you ask me, the moose was okay. But when Alaskans come around and tell you that's the best moose they ever ate, they either want to be your friend or they're telling you the truth. You know?
Yeah.
And
So it was good.
it was fantastic, man. We filmed the whole deal.
What are you going to do with it?
It's going to be on Dead Meat on the Outdoor Channel in the future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
In February, I think. So, yeah, it was
Quite
That
the
is a
adventure,
story,
Joe.
Dang.
Quite the adventure.
You ever cook a moose?
Yeah, I've killed a moose and we spent 2 years eating one.
Yeah. A lot of frying it, I guess. What did you do with those?
Man, so I would if you'd asked me without you saying what you said about how people view moose, I would have said they view it pretty high. Like as a I mean, we ate a lot of ground meat, just like burgers, chili, tacos, that kind of stuff. But man, a moose steak, Becca Spring, Justin and Becca Spring made me a moose steak one time when I was at their house in Montana, and I'm telling you, it was as good as a beef fillet. So it's pretty good.
I thought it was good too. I mean, and we got to sample backstrap and little
Was there
muscles.
a prime piece on it?
Man, of course the tenderloins were tenderloins like everything. It was just well flavored, and you know that's one of the deals with wild game. That's been my bread and butter for a long time, trying to cook things that either people don't want to try, you know, like they'll say that's not what we eat. You know, in Alaska, when we first went to Alaska 18 years ago, every cod we caught they thought was a trash fish. And I was watching the guide and he's shaking them off, putting them back. And after about a dozen of them, I said, "Hey, Bubba, next one of those you get, go ahead and shake it off in that box there. We'll cook it for dinner." And he said, "Oh, you don't want to eat cod." I said, "Look, where I come from, we see the word cod on the menu.
Yeah.
We much rather eat that than catfish.
Right.
You know, it's to us, it's an exotic
different.
deal,
And
it's good." And so we started cooking cod, and over the years, cod kept being put in the boat, not only our boat, but other people's boat. There's a lot of animals like that. You know, thus the squirrel. That's why we started the Squirrel Cookoff, was to show people that this meat that they think is so exotic and strange, tree rat or whatever.
Yeah.
We wanted to showcase whatever you're out there harvesting, whether it be fish or fowl or a bear or whatever it is, there's ways you can cook it and you can turn it into something fit for 250 people.
Yeah.
Or for the Squirrel Cook-Off, thousands of people.
Yeah.
Definitely a lot of critters that get a bad reputation just for like no real reason. Or like one person had a bad experience with it. And then like all of a sudden it becomes like a cultural thing.
We live in a time period where we're eating the wildest meat that humans have ever eaten, where we're taking beef cows and pork and chicken, genetically modifying them, some of them, the chicken and whatnot, feeding them out with corn to the point of obesity, and that's the norm.
Yeah.
So the standard for modern society, at least in the Western world, would be, you know, like a really like the highest end in human history of a beef and pork. So, you know, if you just go back a little ways, I mean, you know, it wasn't that long ago when you look at the span of human history that they were selling deer and bear and all kind of stuff in these big meat markets, even in the big cities. You know, and St. Louis and Memphis and Chicago had these huge outdoor markets.
Yep.
And I mean,
Well,
they were selling wild game. People loved it.
throughout your storytelling on this show, I mean, we've learned about market animals, you know, and how bear was something that people wanted to eat, and buffalo tongue, right? Wasn't that a big deal?
Yeah.
And it's amazing how we went so far backwards on the thing. I'm really not scared to cook any of it. Have you ever ate porcupine?
Believe it or not, I have.
It's good too, right?
It tastes like spruce.
The one you ate tastes like spruce. The one I ate tastes like gumbo.
So you cooked it up there?
Yeah, they come to me one night and they said, "You ever cooked baby bear?" And I said, "No." And they said, "We've got a baby bear. Will you cook it?" And they brought out a bag, and the only thing, all right, I'll fast forward, it's a porcupine, but the only thing that's got fur is its feet, and so it's got the fur around and
It
the
looks
claws.
like a little
looks like little baby bear feet. And they said, "That's a baby bear. What are you going to do with it?" I said, "Well, sounds like gumbo to me." And made porcupine gumbo, and it was fantastic. For me, it was beefy.
Yeah.
It had a good beef flavor.
Yeah.
But what you said's 100% right. Whatever these animals are eating,
Yeah.
I mean, if you take a steer and we want to finish that steer and we finish it on grains and sweets to get that meat tasting right. There's a lot of stuff. Caribou, to me, if you ask me what caribou tastes like, I'd tell you sage. Because the caribou that I ate, it had been eating a lot of sage, you know? And so the same thing goes with squirrels. The springtime squirrel to me is a heck of a lot better than that squirrel that you're going to be harvesting in August, September, whenever they're just eating that old green stuff off the acorns. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man. Well, world champion squirrel cook-off. So Joe is the founder of the world championship squirrel cook-off.
I think Joe's secretly getting rich off of this squirrel cook-off
oh, I
thing.
wish. Don't tell my wife.
I mean, he can't work this hard and not get anything out of it.
Man, I get the fun of being around some people for one day. It's been 100% no profit.
How many years now?
Well, the first one was in 2011.
Wow.
And we missed a couple for COVID, you know. And but yeah, 2011. I think most folks probably know the story. If you don't, we were filming Bizarre Foods for the Travel Channel.
Yeah, we need to review this. Do you remember this, Bear?
Clay was part of it.
I do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Part of the lie.
part of the lie, because one of the big backstories on that is what's the old boy Blake? There's a guy named Blake. He had a big old bear on camera, and we were supposed to film.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, we were supposed to film Blake hunting this bear, and then once he got the bear, we were going to cook up the bear, and the camera crew showed up. Now, this isn't an outdoor camera crew.
No.
This is a big city, big lights, big cameras.
Bizarre Foods with Andrew Zimmern's crew.
Yep.
And the director had a big old cigar. You remember this?
Yeah, you would think this guy's the director of a Hollywood production.
Right.
He played the part well.
Yeah. And he has got a big old cigar and shows up to do this hunt, smoking a cigar, a bunch of lights, and asks Blake, what time will the bear be here? We ain't got all day. And
12:32.
And Blake called and he says, man, I'd love to help you, Joe, but it ain't going to go like this. I said, I get it. He said, I'll put the word out. First person gets a bear, and we'll send that crew over that way. And just so happens it was a fella that was not near as popular at the time. His name was Clay Newcomb. Didn't have his own hats,
Never
didn't have
heard
his
of him.
own shirts, nothing. Had a little old magazine.
You know, when they called me about that, I thought it was a joke, and I almost ran them off, because they were like, hey, we're going to be in Arkansas. We need a bear on this day at this time. And I was just like, I can't guarantee you anything. I said, there's no way to predict that we're going to be able to kill a bear that day. And basically, I didn't know anything about Andrew Zimmern at that time.
Right.
And I was like, what do y'all want to do? And they're wanting to film somebody, skin and cook a bear. And this was so long ago, I didn't really know anything about media. And I actually thought they were looking for some hillbillies to make fun of.
Yep.
And I said that. I said, hey, if you're looking for somebody to make look dumb, I'm not your guy. And they were like, oh, no. Andrew Zimmern's really respectful. And then I start watching Andrew Zimmern, and he's like this world traveler and like really cool guy and has this really legit show. And anyway, they said, well, we need a bear on this day. And so I then put out a net of people that I knew and knew where they were hunting. And I was like, hey, if anybody kills a bear, call me. And sure enough, that day, my buddy Trey Clark killed a bear. And so we had a bear, and the whole crew came down. They filmed it. They filmed us making bear cracklings.
That was a great show.
Yeah, it was cool. It's all about the Ozarks.
Yeah, my hard part was they gave us a list. They wanted bear hunt, rabbit hunt,
Sucker fishing,
gigging suckers on the river, and then they wanted a crow hunt. and they asked if I'd ever cooked crow, and I said I'd done it twice, but I'd been drinking both times. And they said, so you don't eat crow all the time? And I said, no, nobody does. Poultry's 45 cents a pound. Now, you can tell this was back in 2011.
Yeah.
I said, poultry's 45 cents a pound. We don't have no room to go out there and work like that for them crow. And they said, we really need crow. So I called Phyllis Spears.
Yeah.
And Phyllis Spears had been cooking on PBS for years and years here in the Ozarks. And I called Phyllis and I said, Phyllis, I got myself in a pickle. I said, I need to cook some crow for a TV show. And she said, you need my help? And I said, yeah. And she said, do I need to bring my own crow? I said, probably wouldn't hurt. And side story on that, man, we went out by my house to crow hunt. And we knew there was crows out there. And we start calling a little bit. And one of the guys, he goes shooting at that, that old spy crow that comes out.
First one.
Yeah.
And wrecks the whole deal for us. And that director smoking that cigar, he says, we need to kill some crows. And he said, what could we do? I said, well, I guess we could go to the store and buy a few things and it may help us. So we went to one of them giant retailers off the highway there that specializes in everything hunting and fishing. And when we pulled up to that deal, we grabbed 3 shopping carts. And we bought fishing poles and bull blinds, and we bought everything. None of it really dealt with crows too much. But he had a credit card, and he was willing to spend it. And so to make a good TV show, we get back. Phyllis is there. She pops her tailgate down. She's got 4 dead crows in the back. And we threw that one in the air 3 different times to make some B-roll. That's a true story, man. We made some B-roll, and we cooked the crow. She made shepherd's pie, and then we just fried up some crow.
How'd she cook it for the shepherd? Did she put it in raw, or did she cook it first before she put it in the shepherd's pie?
She kind of browned it up and then put it in. But man, my nemesis in life is sweet potatoes. I can't do them. That's not my deal. And so I dug around all them orange potatoes to get to the crow meat. If you ask me, crow is exceptionally good. And
really?
if you find that video and you look back at it, I went back for seconds on the crow. To me, it was beefy. It was the farthest thing from poultry. And what was unique was the thighs were the dark meat, and the breast was the lighter colored meat on the crow. And these, I'm talking Ozark crows. So we know what they eat. Dead armadillos, everything on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking the boys up there in Nebraska and Iowa
might have some good crows.
I think they got good crows.
And so the squirrel cook-off was, they said, do you cook squirrel?
And I said, world champion squirrel. And they said, how do you know? I said, well, we throw a world championship. They said, when is it? I said, well, when you coming? And
that's kind of like the water witch and saying, where do you want your well?
Yeah. Does that mean it's not real?
So they said the date, whatever it was. I think it was in August, late August.
Yeah.
And I said, you ain't going to believe this. It's the same weekend. No kidding? I said, yeah, it's the same weekend. They say, how many teams you got? I don't know, like 25. And the whole time I'm telling this story, I'm thinking, man, I got some work to do. And so
you're good at digging yourself holes. This is like when you went to Alaska.
Same deal.
Didn't have a spick.
I see a pattern forming.
It is
for your life.
51 years of this trap on me. And so they said, we're going to be there in 2 weeks. Yeah, no problem, man. You'll be there right in time. And so I went to scrambling.
So you had 2 weeks to put together the World Championship Squirrel
And this
Cook-Off.
was in 2011.
Yeah. And so I start calling friends. This is where networking comes in. If I could give anybody the secret of life, build you a network. You got to have a guy, right? You got to have a friend. You got to do favors, never asking for them to come back to you. But trust me, they will. So I started calling people.
That's good advice.
I started calling people. I said, hey, Old Joe's in a pickle. I got to get a squirrel cook-off going. And I don't even cook squirrel. I don't care. He's just meat. We'll cook it. I believe I had teams from 7 states.
Wow.
Show up.
Did you get 25 teams?
Yeah.
25 teams.
In 2 weeks.
And they come from 7 states. And in my mind, I needed judges. So this would be fair. So I called 2 different county judges.
Actual judges.
Actual judges, because I thought it would be
These
fun.
weren't guys that you had stood in front of before, were they?
No, but they were heavyweights, and I knew they knew how to eat. So I got 2. I got 2 judges and Chef Matthew McClure.
Yeah.
And he was a James Beard type chef. And I said, man, I need you to come eat some squirrel with me. And he agreed to it. So we made this show, and you're going to find this hard to believe. I dug myself into another little hole.
Another one.
Because we got so much attention. That show aired, Clay, in like 120 countries. Me and Clay become movie stars overnight on this deal. Well, they start sending messages. I need a T-shirt. I got them. They're $20. So I had to find someone to make a mess of T-shirts. Well, then I started sending T-shirts to Australia, and heck, it cost more than $20 to get them there.
Yeah.
So it was a short-lived business, and that started it. Man, we got a lot of traction, and but it turned into something I never thought it would. Now you could call it a lie. I don't know if it was a lie. It was just something that wasn't there yet.
Well,
It was
you
a
made
fabricated truth.
Good.
Fabricated
I
truth.
could go with that.
it, though. Well, but you followed through on it, and
That's
then
right.
it's become something really cool. So the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off is in Springdale, Arkansas,
Yes, sir.
at the Arkansas Game and Fish Big Nature Center there.
Yeah, right off the
On
highway, September 13th.
September 13th, 2025. And it's a one-day event,
One-day event,
all day.
9 o'clock in the morning till we get done.
Bear, have you been, hadn't you?
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years.
Describe
in a row.
what it's like.
Basically, there's a bunch of teams cooking squirrels, and then there's all sorts of like attractions and stuff, live music, and
Last
a lot
year
of
we had
vendors.
Gene Simmons from Kiss.
Okay,
Did you see him there?
I saw whoever was playing,
We-
but yeah, basically a bunch of teams cooking squirrels, and then they're cooking throughout the day. They bring it to the judges, and then they judge the squirrels. There's squirrel
People-
skinning contests.
Yeah,
It's-
squirrel
there's all
skinning
sorts of stuff.
contest is a real hoot. But
Yeah.
I'd say the biggest attraction though is all the different teams all day while they're cooking. So they've only got to cook like 2 meals for the judges.
Yeah, so you're cooking an entree and a side for 6 judges.
Okay.
Do both have to have squirrel in them?
If you don't put squirrel in your side dish, you lost. And not because you're disqualified. It's just worth 5 points.
Okay.
And so anytime we're in any sort of anything, 5 points is a lot, right? And
Yeah.
then out of 100 points, 5 is huge. And so, yeah, but there's tricks. Like we've had people use squirrel bone broth to mix in with their masa to make tortillas,
Oh.
right? And
Sneaky.
so
Let me say this though, the thing that I think stands out to people as an event that people would come to is that so these people are cooking for 6 judges, but everybody's cooking a whole lot. So all day it's kind of just a thing that as guys are cooking, they're giving away food for free to the public. And there's no guarantee that anybody's going to do that. They don't have to do that per se.
But I think they want to, and
Yeah.
I think that goes back to who we are as outdoors people, right? We like to share our bounty, and we also like to let people experience new things. And we did. Heck, 2 years ago, we cooked the 2 largest Asian carp that had ever been caught. Right? They come out of Grand Lake. Brian Baker out of Grand Lake is a guide over there. He figured out how to locate and snag these horrible fish, right? We want them out of our waters. Arkansas just offered up, $100 bounty on every black carp.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. And so they become a big problem. So Brian was breaking these records, and I hollered at Brian, and I said, man, what are you doing with those fish? He said, what do you want it for? I said, I'd like to make tacos out of big Asian carp. And I got the University of Arkansas's culinary team to come down and cook this carp. Never in the history of man do you think there's ever been 1,000 people waiting in line to eat a carp.
Really?
I mean, it's unbelievable the things that we've cooked at this event. You know, we've cooked everything. Exotic animals. You know, some guy goes down to Texas and shoots an exotic, and you don't know what to do with it. We'll take it. We'll cook it, and we'll feed it.
So is it still 25 teams?
No,
40.
so we're a maximum of 40.
Okay.
And the reason why we're a maximum of 40 is it's torturous to the judges.
Sure.
Brent Reeves has judged twice now, I guess.
Yeah.
And big old Brent, he hits the wall, man. There's a wall that you can hit.
Yeah. So last year, Malcolm from How to Barbecue Right.
Yep.
Is that right?
Yeah, Malcolm Reed.
Malcolm Reed was there. He's a really cool guy. Has a huge
internet following.
YouTube, TikTok.
When I want to
major barbecue man.
When I want to know how to cook something, I
Malcolm
go to him.
Reed.
Yep.
Yeah. So Malcolm comes, and then Clifton Jackson, who has a 22 rifle named after him.
I believe it's the most expensive squirrel rifle you could buy.
Yeah.
Well, Cooper Arms puts it together.
So Clifton is a Arkansas game and fish biologist. Won the squirrel skinning contest multiple years in a row. Every year.
Unbeaten.
Every year, like since you started doing the skinning contest.
Every year.
What method is he using?
Somebody needs to.
He uses the tail method.
Somebody needs to try to dethrone this guy. I mean,
The teeth?
he's like the
Golly.
They've used. I think
It's pretty gross. It can be.
I mean, this year it got down to the finals, and it was Clifton and another fella, and they're really wanting to win this deal, and the crowd is behind them. You know, we're hooting and hollering, and Clifton had a squirrel it was definitely a shotgun squirrel at probably a closer range, and it split on him.
Oh.
And so since it split on him, he went third gear on this deal and grabbed his teeth.
Oh, really?
Oh, my.
And he goes to torquing around on this
He had
squirrel.
to do what he had to do.
And so his competition sees this and thinks this is the method. So his competition is a tugging around.
Is this a timed event?
First, no.
It's like 2-on-2. Like, so you sign
I'd like
up.
to. How long does it take?
It's two people, and they go head to head, and whoever wins moves on. So it's like
We'll call it
elimination.
squirrel skin and drag racing.
I see.
Yeah.
Right.
And so, if you're up against Clifton, you probably won't do very good. But if you're there, I saw people that had never skinned a squirrel.
Oh, really?
Like trying to do it. So,
and there's people that will impress you. I mean, you'll have these dainty females show up, and we become judgmental. And then all of a sudden, she undresses a squirrel like a Barbie doll. You know, just wham, skin's off. This thing is done.
Yeah.
And so, we do sideshows. We do that. We bring in music. We bring in,
and it's free, isn't it?
It's free. And,
so you just walk in there, and Kevin Murphy. So Steve Rinella's proclaimed greatest small game hunter in the world. Kevin Murphy has come the last 2 years. I don't know if he's coming this year or not, but last couple of years he's been there.
Yeah, Kevin brings dogs with him.
Me and Brent are planning to come. I'm out, and Giannis Putelis is wanting to come. I have a feeling he won't. It's right in the middle of
this whole elk
season. Yeah,
it's in the way a lot.
Yeah.
But trying to put an event amongst the fall.
Yep. And nobody wants to stand around and eat squirrel in the middle of the summer in Arkansas.
We've had good weather,
Yeah.
And I went ahead and AI'd it, and the weather's going to be beautiful that day.
Perfect. Sweet.
Yeah, I checked it out, and they said.
So, Joe, in say for instance last year, do you have any idea how many squirrels were consumed in this event? Ballpark.
Man, 40 teams. I'm going to say between 800 and 1,000.
800 and a where do all these squirrels come from?
Mostly from the tops of trees, but
Note to self.
but
If I'm looking for 800 squirrels, look
So,
up.
are you looking for teams right now?
absolutely, I'm looking for teams, and
Okay.
and I get it. There's a lot of places in this country to where squirrel season doesn't start till October, and which is really unfair. I mean, there's not a lot of signs, billboards out there saying don't walk in this field because you might disturb a squirrel.
Yeah.
When you're jogging or when your power goes out or whatever, there's squirrels. Those squirrels are knocking the power out quite frequent.
Yeah.
But the biggest problem is this is one of the only cook-offs that I know of that you got to work before the cook-off to be able to be in the cook-off. You can't go down to...
Is it BYO squirrel?
It is, but once again, it goes back to the heart of the outdoors people. There's plenty of people. If I put out a 911 that, man, I got 3 teams and they don't have any meat, someone's gonna volunteer. But part of the game is I want you to get out and try it. I want you to understand why we feel that this game meat's so precious. Them big game hunts, watching Clay chase a mountain goat up a hill, or watching Clay on his moose hunt and all this, and everybody you watch who does this. I mean, you're putting yourself at risk. You've spent your treasure to get there. You've thought about it for so long. There's been so much work put into this. You better eat that meat.
Mm-hmm.
And let me tell you what an insult would be. An insult would be to use some sort of chinette and plastic. No, grab that metal, grab that good plate, and turn it into a meal. If we live our whole lives just feeding people on a napkin, this game meat that we get, it becomes third-rate meat automatically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Showcase it. It's the treasure. The older we get, the more we much rather see young people do all the stuff. My son right now is me hunting. And this year we turkey hunted in 3 states, and he got 2 bucks, and he likes squirrel hunting and all that. And he stands there and he helps clean it. And then at the end of it, if you ask my son what his favorite meat is, it's not squirrel. That's my daughter. But if you ask him, his favorite meat is bear. Out of all the things that he could eat. And I think he got into some really good bear that he was eating on,
Yeah.
But he loves bear meat. And it's because we make a big deal out of it. And when we cook it, it's labeled right on the package. When you go out to the freezer, you know what you're getting. And it kind of puts you a notch above a lot of other people who don't know anything about what they're eating.
Yeah.
And it's a cool story. It should be a bigger story told, is the use of what we are out there getting.
Yeah.
And I'd like to be just a small part of it. And we've fed tens of thousands of people their first taste of game meat. Most people come and their nose is turned up, and when they taste that first bite, that whole paradigm of what they just ate goes away. And especially whenever you're doing it right.
Yeah. So the thing that most people ask me about the World Championship Squirrel Cook-Off is, what do people cook? So you might think that it's going to be like squirrel and dumplings, fried squirrel, kind of these traditional meals. It rarely is.
Right.
What, Bear, do you remember any specific dishes that somebody made? I'll try to run through a few, and if you'll think of maybe 4 or 5 really good ones or just memorable ones. So if you get a team, if you're one of the lucky 40 that gets a spot and you've never been here, you are going to be, there's all levels of cooks.
Yeah.
There's people that have never even cooked squirrel that are doing it. There's also the potential to be some legitimate chefs that work at restaurants. but you really need to do something cool. I don't think this team even placed, or I know they actually didn't, but it stood out to me. There was a team one time that they were dressed like people from Chick-fil-A, and they made Chick-fil-A squirrel sandwiches.
And I disqualified them.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, don't spoil my story, Joe. Let me just have fun for a minute here. So they, I actually may have told this story before. The point is that they made sandwiches, squirrel sandwiches. They had the waffle fries, and they had a shtick. Like, so, the idea was that when the judge got it, they would be like, oh, squirrel fillet. And it was really good. I don't even know what they had as a side dish. You have the squirrel gumbo people. But everybody has this like elaborate meal, and the better naming that you have of it usually does good. There's some marketing in the way it looks. I've had squirrel chocolate chip cookies, squirrel meat chocolate chip cookies.
For real?
Yeah.
Ice cream.
What do you remember any like really good?
Didn't like some sort of Thai food place last year do really well last year?
Asian food tends to do really well.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons is if you think about the activities a squirrel is participating in, he's using every muscle on that body, right? And so
Dark meat.
Dark meat, but meat with a lot of power. If you're looking at a steer, when you get to the chuck, the first 3 ribeyes coming off that chuck are going to be the most tender, and that's because that animal doesn't turn right there. Right? It's
unused.
It's lazy meat.
Lazy meat.
And so lazy meat is going to be your most tender. Now your working meat is going to be your most flavorful, but
Tougher.
You need to put more care into it. So if you take that tough working meat and you cut it into small pieces, something that your tooth can go ahead and get through, that's where these Asian dishes really come in. We've had people grind it, make squirrel sausage. But Clay's right. Showmanship is a big part of anything. It's 25 points.
So there's a rubric for scoring.
Yeah.
Very, very serious. Very, very legit scoring system.
Yeah.
Well, and you guys measure deer antlers for weeks upon weeks. So if these people are coming to win a world championships, we
want it to be some standardization.
We want it to be a standard.
Yeah.
And I want my judges to be as accurate as possible. I always ask all judges when they first come in if they have any squirrel allergies, right? Because I can't have that. But the fact that you have put in the time, the effort to hunt the animal, to focus and build a recipe, to come and put that recipe together, I want you to be critiqued as fair as possible.
Yeah.
And that tells you that guy who may work at a high-end restaurant or that lady who might cook on the riverbank are equals at this deal. And another key component to keep in this ain't a chili cook-off. This isn't cooking briskets or anything. Everybody's cooking something different.
Right.
So you're going to be judged on your own merit.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of it.
And it's a lot of it. I mean, if I had a team, I would be thinking real serious about what I was going to make. And you could always go with something simple and just make it really good,
yeah.
Or you could do something crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been squirrel pizza.
Yeah.
Squirrel
pizza won last year.
Really?
Yeah, it really did. And to be honest with you, the rules state that 80% of the meat used in the dish has to be squirrel. Now, it doesn't say that 80% of the dish is squirrel.
Right.
Right? And that confuses
So you can
some
have
people.
other meat in there with it.
Well, 20%, but like your pizza, you may only be eating a little bit of squirrel.
Right.
But in like most of your meal is a pizza with cheese and
the dough and everything. And so that's why that's confusing. So if you're thinking about coming, 80% of the meat you use. And that 80-20 is a perfect combination of hamburger, right?
Right.
So we wanted to allow 20% for other, which could be fat.
Okay.
Like we had a team of doctors come from Oklahoma one time, and they made squirrel hot dogs, which they actually emulsified and did all of this. And so their 20% was a can of Spam.
Oh,
right?
nice.
Because that can.
Did they make it there on site?
To. That's why when Clay said the Chick-fil-A story, and I said I disqualified them, because the rules clearly state that the squirrel has to be whole, quartered, or halved, and unmarinated.
Okay.
And so
everybody starts at the same time.
Yeah, we're all. Heck, I was modern before I knew it, but everybody's equal at this deal. So, in order to make that Chick-fil-A sandwich, the secret that Chick-fil-A has always done is what?
Pickle juice.
Pickle juice.
So they marinated it.
So they had marinated their squirrel in pickle juice.
I see.
Before they got there.
And so one of the things we do to make sure there's no contraband is we do a meat inspection. The meat inspection is to see that the meat is 40 degrees or less.
Right.
That it is squirrel. It's whole, quartered, or halved. And it's not been marinated or seasoned. And then straight up 9 o'clock, everybody starts off fresh, and you go and make it.
What time is the judging?
About noon.
Okay.
Yeah,
have you got judges?
This year, I'm looking for a couple.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a couple.
I'm out, but
I know
that seems like a hard job.
It is.
It's fun. It's fun. I've been back there in the room, and it's really a fun vibe.
Yeah, and Arkansas Game and Fish, I give them a judging spot every year, and they auction it off to raise money to help whatever it is. And that it always amazes me watching that auction because I'm looking at cool stuff, sitting over here, and Squirrel Judge is higher than a bunch of stuff.
Man, really this event has so much potential. I mean, it's already like thriving. I mean, I don't know. Do we have any idea how many people would have come on a given day? I mean, just a guess. I mean, like
an overwhelming amount of people.
Yeah.
And
it's not a huge. It's not like this thing sprawled out over a half a mile or something. I mean, like the courtyard there at the nature center is, not too big, but I mean, several thousand people are coming to this thing.
We estimate between 7,000 and 8,000 people show up.
Yeah.
And
a lot of folks. It's one day, a lot of people, a lot of fun, a lot of. There's other like our buddy Casey Brewster down here that brings his pack goats up there and is letting kids feed and play with the goats, and he's showing how he uses them for packing and doing all kind of stuff. And the fish tank will be there, the Arkansas Game and Fish.
Yeah.
Don't they bring their fish tank? Yeah,
that we have a shooting event, BB guns, pellet rifles, things like that's going on.
Cool.
What we try to do is we try to show who we are and not intimidate people. I think camouflage, for some reason, is intimidating to those who don't wear camouflage, right? And there was a time in history...
Josh.
There was a time in history...
Sorry, I'm so intimidating.
Where people thought that was the Army. Because hunters were wearing red and black flannels, and, that's an Army guy.
Yeah.
But, a lot of sources has tried to turn people with firearms or people that hunt into bad people. We put a lot of effort in showing that's different. One of the things I'm proud of at the event is we bring in a lot of organizations that support children. We're fingerprinting kids. We're doing all that with the sheriff's departments there, doing a database to protect kids. And we want to protect kids. This year, there's going to be 2 different organizations that deal with foster kids. And, one of the things that we're trying to do is get these foster kids into the outdoors. That's a high-risk deal. God bless the people who take on the responsibility of being the foster kids. And you don't know what that kid's went through. Mm-hmm. But we've heard it time and time again, the healing of PTSD and depression and all that through the outdoors. It's not even an experiment. It's the truth, right? Mm-hmm. And so this year when you show up, they're not going to have signs on them, Clay, that say I'm a foster kid.
Right.
Right? Because they're just kids who don't know about the outdoors. And so I've had a couple of those organizations reach out, and I want them to know they're just people, right? Just like us, we're just people. And I want them to gain experiences that prove that they're just people. And I offered one organization 3 team spots. And I said, get your adult and take 2 of these kids, and they might become world champions. Now, anybody who tries to help people in life, you're kind of, it's a false thing that thinks you're going to heal everything because of your organization or whatever. Drop that. Just heal 1 or heal 10 and let those go out and be the ones that do it for you in the future.
Yeah.
And so I want to help out these foster kids a bunch. There's a bunch of them out there.
Yeah.
Arkansas is a state loaded down, you know. We're all, as a country, we're loaded down. So I'm going to bring those out. A lot of feel-good stories out there. ACC crappie sticks, they're coming from Tennessee. They're going to fry up a whole bunch of fish that, you know, to give to the public. Townsend Spice and Supply, an Arkansas company, will be there seasoning up all kinds of weird stuff, and we feed it to everybody. So we don't sell food at this event; we give it to you.
Yeah, man, that's what makes this so unique.
Yeah.
It's free, and then you come and you'll, you know, if you're there, especially if you're there early, you'll leave full with a bunch of cool food.
Yeah, and then we record an episode of the render.
Yeah.
And you know what's weird about when we record the render is Clay will ask who here's from Arkansas, and you'll hear a 6-pack of people hoot or holler.
Yeah, a lot of out-of-state people.
A lot of out-of-state people.
And we've done it the last several years. I plan to do it again this year. We do like a live render, and it's not a, you know, it's not like in a stadium, but like people can. We just kind of are in this big room, and people can just kind of gather around and listen, and it's a lot of fun.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I really, you know, last year we had multiple families who traveled from England who didn't even know each other, who show up in Arkansas to eat a squirrel.
Wow.
And now you said it was a lie earlier that I said whenever I got this thing started, right? I think it was supposed to happen.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
World Championship.
Yeah.
Well, it's really cool. It's a cool event, man. It's a lot of fun. And, yeah, man, I love some squirrel hunting, so it's a great
Perfect
fit.
outlet for
it's a
squirrel
great
hunting.
fit. It's a great fit. And I also love the story where they kind of tried to run Joe in the event out of Bentonville.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, we don't have to go into the whole thing, but
Bentonville got a little highfalutin.
yeah, Bentonville is
Too good for the
it's a
squirrel.
wonderful town. We love Bentonville, and it's yeah.
But they're asking for it back.
Are they want it back? Oh, they want us to come back now.
They
huh?
want us to come back. Everybody needs a redneck. Hell, you don't know when you're going to get a flat tire.
Token redneck.
But, man, I would really like us to promote the hunting end of it better. I've never been able to do that. And I think you, in particular, do a good job showcasing that. I think Bear does a good job. I think Bear is one of the most needed things in the outdoor industry is showing the youth, you know, because there's so many novice people. As a dad who grew up in it, I have experience and I know opportunities. But it's intimidating for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And for this more rough hunting and fishing style of just going down and gig some frogs, that was perfectly normal for me as a kid. But now it's so far out of line, you know? We need people younger than Bear showing it too. I think that's a big missing part of this whole thing, man.
Yeah.
If everybody's got a cell phone now, we didn't. Just think of the stuff we'd have on video. But I think what Bear's doing is cool. I think that I think that the showmanship of showing dad and son and a lot of stuff is.
If I can get Bear to go with me anymore, he's got all his own friends now.
I know.
I seen him at the Bear Bonanza. I felt like he was going to have a paparazzi or something out there.
Yeah. Well, man, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a blast. And come on out. Come on out. Joe needs teams.
I need teams.
Well, how do they contact you?
Well, basically, it's always on Messenger on Facebook.
So pretty much, there's no official website.
Oh, that costs money.
Yeah, there's no website, so you gotta engage with the Facebook page.
There's a World Champion Squirrel Cookoff Facebook page,
yeah,
and they can reach out to you directly through there.
Yep, and we'll keep you updated on things. Last year, spur of the moment, I like to scramble, and
we've heard.
I decided how funny it would be to watch kids under 10 years old eat raw oysters.
Okay.
And so you were already inside signing autographs or something, but we threw a under 10-year-old oyster eating competition, and it worked out exactly like I thought it would.
So is that happening again this year?
Maybe, I don't know. I'll come up
We'll
with
see what
something.
You never
happens.
know what Joe's got up his sleeve.
But
Yeah.
it's a great family event, and
Yeah, it's a family event. Yep. Well, dang, Bear, I was gonna have you tell about your mule training, but too late. Nah. Close us down. Give us a mule update.
Mule update.
Just like overview that people hadn't heard about your mule training. So.
Okay, I started our mule slow trap like maybe a month and a half ago. Got a saddle on him, got him right in the round pen, took him out of the pen for the first time 2 days ago. And then today I was just riding him around and he was doing pretty good. So I decided to take him down the road and we just kept going. And he did really good.
I was coming up the road and I saw Bear and Slow Trap coming right down the road.
Yeah, didn't miss a lick.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Has he bucked
everything.
at all?
Yeah, he did for like 2 laps around the round pen. He was bucking at one point. The first time I tried to get him to trot.
Now, hey, listen, let's talk about the marketing here. I think we might describe it more as a crow hop.
I wouldn't describe it.
I think if it was bucking, it would have bucked you off.
He was bucking. I mean, I'm telling you.
You know the biggest thing when with like mule training and stuff, if no one's there, when you tell someone that the mule was bucking, everybody's like, now was it really bucking or was it just kind of crow hopping?
I'm telling you, it was all I could do to stay on. I mean, after the first lap around, I started looking for how I could jump off onto the side panels.
So
of the corral.
I told him this could happen. Is that you can? So he's riding on this mule in a round pen, walking it, and it's doing everything he wants it to do, giving it cues, and it's moving and stopping, backing up, doing everything. But the first time you trot one, this 150-pound animal on your back, you're the mule, starts bouncing on your back while you're trotting, and it's a whole different feeling.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the first time you trot them, it scares them. So I told him, I was like, hey, when you trot him, be careful. And sure enough, he didn't like it.
Yeah, so I was able to stay on him, and then just we never stopped. We just kept going. But
so the name Slow Trap, it's not our best work, but Gerstocker, one of my heroes from Arkansas, old guy from the 1800s that was market hunting and doing a bunch of stuff here in Arkansas. One of his good buddies from south of Fort Smith on the Fouche-Lafay River in the Ouachitas, they called him Slow Trap. And Slow Trap was a super good hunter. And Gerstocker talks about him in the book, and that name always stood out to me, Slow Trap. And the Gerstocker book, Wild Sports, was also the book that I first read about bear grease. It's the first time I ever read those words. Bear grease was in that book.
I remember that story.
So Slow Trap is this it's a black mule with white stocking feet, and Bear's trained it completely. Like I didn't. I mean, we used it. I guess I did. We did mess with it a little bit last summer. It was packing with us.
He got a little help from Uncle Cash.
He did get a little help from Uncle Cash.
Yeah, I mean, Uncle Cash really set him straight.
Yeah, well,
train a mule.
last summer I saddle broke him, or just got him to where he could put a saddle on, and then we used him a little bit, so it wasn't like a total like fresh start.
So, are you enjoying training a mule?
Yeah, I am a lot actually. At first, it was a little like I knew I wanted to try and train a mule just to kind of experience it because I've heard that there's a lot of like you gain a lot of other stuff whenever
Who told you that.
You did.
Okay.
Yeah, and I mean some other people, but and so I wanted to do it just for the experience. But as I've been doing it, I've really been enjoying it. Like seeing him progress and like start to understand what I'm telling him to do. Like, because I mean, really, like they speak a language. They don't speak a language, but they have a language, and you're just trying to figure out how to communicate with them, which is it's super interesting and super fun.
It really
to do.
is.
Yeah.
It's kind of like hunting with a dog. If you don't have a dog and you just go with somebody with a dog, the experience, I mean, it can be exhilarating, but it can also be just like, oh yeah, that was fun. You get a dog and all of a sudden it's like next level, like human physiology, chemistry, wild stuff. I mean, it's like biological, like you're engaging with this animal that you raised and that and a lot of cool stuff happens. You talk to somebody about riding mules or horses and they're like, oh, that sounds fun. I can get on that horse and ride around. And, it's like maybe not that big a deal. You train a mule or train a horse and then ride it and use it in the mountains to haul out game or to rope on or whatever you're going to do. Completely different experience.
I'm going through the same deal. I want to talk to Josh about it a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Well, for my whole life, I always thought fly fishing was ridiculous. I compared fly fishing to the chopsticks and the fork. That once China found out there was a fork available, they should have just ditched the chopsticks and went straight. But they didn't. They held on to the chopsticks. And then I took fly fishing. Was like if I drove 4 hours to go fishing with my spinning reel and I got there and it broke, I'm just going to have to deal with it. So I'll just swing this fishing line around and try to catch a fish. Well, about a month ago, I went on a fly fishing deal. And I caught some fish in a place that I know the only way I was going to catch those fish is with what that dude put in my hand that day. So I did what I do, and I scrambled. And now I own 3 different fly rods. I bought all kinds of stuff, and I stand either in the creek in my backyard or in the front yard, and I'm trying to figure this out. I no longer think that fly fishing is stupid. Now, I do think there's plenty of room for a fork.
Well said. Well said.
But
I agree.
I want to get a lot better at this fly fishing.
You hadn't been with Josh.
No.
Yeah, you need to go
We'll
with
go,
Josh.
man. We'll go.
I'll tell you how ridiculous I am.
You know who's a good fly fisherman?
Who's that?
That guy right there.
I don't know about that.
You
Catch some fish here and there.
I'm kind of a fence rider in life. I don't want to cross over and get in trouble, but I'll go ahead and rub the side of that fence. And so
You'll rub it by talking more about fly fishing. We don't talk about fly fishing. We're trying to keep our
The only
ratings
way we
up.
talk about fly fishing is when Clay's gone.
When the thing gets hijacked.
well,
turns
boys,
into
I
trout
bought some
grease.
flies that look just like the feed that they feed them fish at the hatchery.
Oh.
And that's probably not traditionalist, but I don't think I'm going to get into this deal, Clay, as a traditionalist. Sometimes I'll use that fly rod as a cane pole, I promise you. So, yeah, that's what chopsticks and forks, brother.
Chopsticks and forks. Well, great. Well, me and Bear, we've we broke out The Man from Snowy River about 2 nights ago. That is a great movie.
It is a great
Especially if
movie.
you're training horses, training mules. Bear watched
Or
Buck,
running them off a cliff.
Buck
Buck Brannaman.
Brannaman, kind
Super
of the horse
interesting.
whisperer movie.
I heard Dale kind of pin you up on Lonesome Dove.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know that movie that well. I have watched it, but I don't watch a lot of movies.
No.
Did you heal from the horse hoof?
No, we didn't do any roping or anything.
No,
Did you
not
heal?
that kind of heal.
Did your leg
Did the
heal?
bruise heal up?
Oh, did I heal?
You went straight up cowboy.
Yeah.
I'm impressed that's where your mind went.
Oh well, yeah, healing.
Yeah. He's like,
I can still feel where it kicked me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fine. You know what? When it happened, I had my sunglasses on, and I actually thought there's no way you can get kicked that hard and not break something. I mean, I actually thought my leg is going to be broke. But I watched the video, it didn't even look that bad.
Man, I heard it and I saw it. I was standing at the fence and I thought, that's bad. So, like anybody who heard it was like, there was kind of like this collective, like, oh.
Yeah.
I wish they
when
could have seen what it looked like a few days after
the doctor.
when it was purple.
And then it immediately was just like what you see in the video is like a minute after it happened, and it doesn't even look that bad. By the time we got done, it was swollen up quite a bit, and then like 2 days later, it was a big black bruise that kind of spread all down my leg.
So you stated that you had the sunglasses on. Were they hiding the allergies that happened?
Well, I just think I would have. I mean, I wasn't crying, but I just feel like if you'd have seen my face, you would have seen my eyes. It's kind of like, yeah, it's no fun getting kicked by a horse or a mule, but golly, when they do, you respect that animal because holy cow, they got some power.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Bear's mule. We've got a new plot hound, and Slow Trap is like this super gentle, like dog gentle mule, and man, it just reared back and whop kicked our mule right. Our
One thing he does
right
do is he's not a huge fan of dogs because Tim is an idiot and will just like chase him.
Yeah,
and then he'll start trying to stomp him, and Tim will like run out of the fence before he gets him. So I think he's probably
they have a good relationship though. I think the mule likes it.
Yeah, I think at this point
That's the same relationship I have with my wife. She kicks me in the head every day, and I think she likes it. So, hey, if I'll leave the show with this. If you're interested in cooking at the Squirrel Cookoff, reach out to us on Facebook. It's on September 13th, Springdale, Arkansas. Free to the public. Show up at 9:00. Enjoy the day. The teams are bound to enjoy the day, and they like seeing you. They like hearing. Clay will be there. Brent Reeves will be there. Josh said he's showing up.
Yep.
Bear, if he ain't chasing frogs or lizards or whatever he's doing, he'll
I'll
be there.
Yeah.
And we'll have a good time. But it's not what you expect when you get there. And it's a good time for everybody.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Joe.
Hey, I got you some sauce, boy.
Man, that stuff right there is the best. This is not like sometimes at MeatEater we have to like put stuff in the camera and talk about how great it is. And if we do that, it truly is our endorsement. It's good stuff. This is not that, except that this is incredible stuff. It's good.
Is.
I wanted to make sure Bear has a pack of that to carry with him when cooking all them varmint that
It's Kraft Worcestershire sauce and
Worcestershire sauce.
Wilsonshire.
Yeah, it was easier to say. I kind of got one of them impediments.
Well, I was pretty proud of the way I just said it. But yeah, for real, that is like the best stuff in the world.
Man,
I don't even know. It doesn't even taste like Worcestershire sauce to me.
Well,
it's better.
Better. It's better. It's
put
better.
it on there and come see me. Hey, if you like my stories, though, we got a little
Joe's
podcast.
got a podcast.
And it's called Cooking Up a Story. I don't cut this out.
Okay.
But it's called Cooking Up a Story. And we take normal people and talk about how struggle leads to success. And it's a good time. So
a lot of fun. All right. Keep the wild places wild, because that's where the bears live.